I was looking for information today as to why palladium specifically was getting hammered so much. And I know a lot of people aren't into this metal, but I still say this is going to be one of the biggest winners going. It's probably going to be a super spike like in 2001 at one point in time, because I know those devils in Russia are playing games with this metal left and right. And just a matter of patiently holding on and waiting for the time to sell. Don't know if I'll hit the top and when it's going to be, but I think this metal is going to be worth more than gold, almost as a sure bet at one point in time. Now, as far as what's unique about this, though, and I almost hate to say the term about electronic market rigging, because a lot of people talk about this stuff and they say the markets are all rigged, they're all electronically controlled. Traders are controlling the spot market. It has nothing to do with physical demand and supply. You know, in the case of palladium, it almost kind of proves the point a little bit, because it's about 95% industrial usage. Hardly any of it is into ETFs. Hardly any of it. Like silver, a good sizable portion of it is into ETFs. Like if there's a lot of people investing into palladium as a large percentage of its actual demand, the palladium price would be a lot higher. But it's almost all industrial usage. 60% of it's for cars and trucks, vehicles, catalysts. But the demand is going up. It was a record demand in 2011. Yet the price went down. I repeated this before, but the price went down mainly. A good reason, part of it though, was they dumped a lot of palladium on the market in mid-November 2011. The Russians did. But I want to point out, yeah, it's the Olympic schedule. I want to point out, after they dumped a lot of palladium on the market in late 2011, but here's a story from May 25th, 2010. They're saying that they will not stock palladium for 2011 and 2015. They will not be focusing on palladium production. That's talking about Norilsk nickel, which is about 39% of the world's supply of palladium comes out of that one mine in Russia. Whereas Russia is 43% of all the palladium in the world that's produced. So in other words, they spike stories left and right. And it's like whatever story's coming out, it's almost like the opposite's going to come about. Just give it a little patience. If they tell you palladium's going to have a stellar year, expect a pullback as soon as that story comes out. Because we had a little bit last month where large UBS banks and stuff like that said that palladium was going to hit about $7.60 an ounce for the end of the year. And, you know, I saw other projections of around $8.50 an ounce or more. Now, I don't think anybody really knows for absolutely certain. But right now, you know, a while back, several months ago, I was thinking when gold peaked out and silver peaked out at the end of February, and Mark Farber was talking about one last pullback, I figured palladium was going to pull back below 500. And platinum was going to get down about 1,300. Silver was going to get down about 24. Gold is going to get down about 1,500. I don't know. That might be the case. I know a lot of people are very focused in on silver, but when you see palladium and platinum take major hits like that, and gold and silver looking okay, like silver did take a pretty good hit, but palladium took a very bad hit, you might see the opposite coming up next week. You might be seeing a lot of hits on silver next week. That's always been my tendency to see that, you know. But in the case of palladium, I'm not, you know, I almost kind of lean to that story about it's being a trader's market and has nothing to do with physical supply and demand. Because the platinum group metals in South Africa, they've been having a lot of stoppages due to like mining strikes and stuff like that. And they've had shortages in platinum, and actually that affects the palladium market too, because the same mines produce some palladium there too. So fundamentally, there's actually going to be more forecast record demand in 2012 for palladium, yet there's absolutely no way they're going to be able to produce the amount of palladium they need. Now the big question is, are the Russian stockpiles depleted? They've been saying this since 2009. They suspect they're depleted. They say this every year. I suspect they're not. But I'm also suspecting that after this last downturn in palladium and silver and gold and platinum, whenever this downturn is going to occur, because that's the part that threw me off, because I figured the downturn would be complete by the end of April 2012, and here it is. It's not complete yet. But as far as like the hardcore Fibonacci numbers, I think that palladium might be below 500, like it was, forecast to be all along. And platinum's probably going to be at 1300, gold's going to go to 1500, and silver's probably going to go to 24 before it's all said and done. But also, I want to point out something else. If you look back in 2008, when we had the big financial crisis, what went down first? Commodities and the metals. Then the stock market started to tumble. That's when they started acting. So, I would look at it this way. If the metals are down across the board, including copper, I mean, it's been going up a little bit in the last couple of weeks, but it's been down since May 1st. And maybe it's been climbing a little bit again in the last couple of weeks. But if all the metals are down, that means production stinks. And that means the economy stinks, plain language. And that means that the markets are basically going to get affected at one point in time. But I noticed back in 2008 that we had a downturn first in the metals, and then it followed with the stock market downturn. So that might be what's going to happen. I wish this damn thing would turn around, get slammed down, and so it could start bouncing up and be permanently bounced up with some quantitative easing. But I'm a little impatient about this. It's pissing me off. But I also want to interject something here. I'm a little curious about this conspiracy theory about the 2012 Olympics and an attack. I saw that on the old Steve Jackson Illuminati card game with the Big Ben in the background, the explosion, and all this type of stuff. And, the 5 people with the 5 different colored clothes that represent the rings of the Olympics. So that's supposedly going to happen. I don't know. To me, that's a way out rumor, but it's something I'm keeping in the back of my mind. But if that's the case, watch the metals markets take a bigger hit, the stock markets take a bigger hit, and there's going to be retaliation for it. I shouldn't even say about this because it's like whenever you talk about something like that and it becomes common knowledge, like a conspiracy theory, it never happens. It's only when it's not common knowledge, then it does happen. But that's something in the back of my mind too, because I know they're looking to have an excuse to have, well, they got a reason. To me, they already got a reason. I don't know why they need an excuse, but they have a war with Iran, and that would be the reason. They would say it would be somebody from the Middle East that did it, and go ahead and attack them. So that might be what's going to play out. I don't know. But like I said, normally when you talk about it, and I notice on YouTube there's a lot of videos about the 2012 Olympics being attacked. But if that happens, I would expect all the metals, the commodities, and the stock markets to take a serious nosedive. And that would be the time to buy then. Yeah, I know. Sounds cold. I'm only thinking of money, but I don't know nothing about a damn attack. I don't have no private information about it. It's a crazy-ass rumor, in my opinion. But, those Steve Jackson Illuminati playing cards, man, they had a few of them in there that really caught my attention, which is the Pentagon, the Twin Towers, and a seagull with the oil on it, which represented the Gulf oil spill. So maybe I'm superstitious, but they had a pretty good argument about a couple things with this 2012 Olympics. Plus, the Chinese commercial that showed the thing blowing up. And I'm like, I don't know, man. But if it gets out there too much, it ain't gonna happen. It sounds too crazy, but um, I personally think these metals now are definitely not to the bottom yet. And the fact that palladium got hammered down and platinum's getting hammered down pretty good. Silver's got more. It's got more downtime yet. It's got more downtime. And gold. It's like they're gonna take turns taking hits. And next week, you might see silver and gold down a lot more too. So, I don't think things are going to turn around until Uncle Ben Bernanke says something like QE. Now, I wish he was sitting right next to him because I say, do the damn QE, damn it. Tell him you're going to put like $5 trillion out there. You know? That's what I'd be saying to him. But I don't have any personal connection with Mr. Ben, so I don't know. But I'm going to still state, nobody's on with this palladium crap. But you know what? If it gets hammered down below 500, if you got some money, go buy some. You'd be stupid not to. Hey, it's the price movement. Now, see, I'm sitting kind of fat, dumb, and happy with this stuff. Even if it goes down to 500, it's because I bought it for less than half of that. Because even gold, when it went all the way down to like $850 or $800 an ounce or whatever the hell it was way back then, it wouldn't have been twice. That's why I don't give a shit too much, excuse me. But you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because I'm up on it, because I waited. And I should be more patient. I get impatient with this garbage too. But if you actually see this stuff go below 500, I'd say buy it. You got a sure bet there. You remember, this stuff is far more rare than gold. And you could talk about it goes into cars, but everybody drives a car, and there's a whole big middle class out there there's more and more people wanting to drive cars. And they'd be making more hybrids, and they use 30% more palladium than the conventional cars. So, but like I says, it's got to hit. I'm going to probably miss some of these things, but what I'm going to watch for is if this event happens with the Olympics, and I see some crazy prices going down, I'm going to buy it in. I'm going to buy it in. That's what I'm going to do. But I don't know, because that's too crazy of a rumor for me. I don't know. But I got my antennas out for that.